Hello once more and welcome back. So before I knew I was getting a train for Christmas, I wanted a train for Christmas. And I've been kind of unlucky on eBay with the few trains I've bid on, but when I saw this one, I decided I needed to put a more serious bid on it. And I did win it, obviously. The seller claims this one runs forward. The E unit does click, but doesn't go in reverse. So hopefully just needs a simple service, but who knows. This front screw in the cab is loose, and I've seen this rear one's marred up. I don't know if that's MPC quality control at work, or if somebody was in this thing trying to fix it and they just decided it was a lost cause. Otherwise it's really clean, except for like a couple little marks here and there. It would have had to have been a part for, I'd guess, for that one to happen, but otherwise it's really clean. I don't recall seeing this one pop up very often, but I've not really been looking for one of these, so it could be rare, it could be common, I don't know. There was only a couple on eBay when I bought this one, and so who knows, I guess. But we'll take it down in the basement here in a moment and give it a test run and see what it does. And hopefully it's a simple service or fix. Well, I haven't even left my seat yet to go look, and I've already spotted some damage where this thing seems to have been dropped. And that's broken off. I wish I would have noticed that, but as long as it doesn't impede operations, I guess I can live with it. Maybe pick up a new truck at some point if it's an issue. Sorry, but you can see how clean even underneath this thing is. All right, let's get in the basement and get this thing on the track and get it a test run. Alrighty, I got her on the track. I double checked to make sure the E unit is engaged. So let's give her some power. Well, the seller should have fiddled with the unit lever, I guess, because it's a little sticky, but it does run in reverse. And it runs really well. I think it's just a case of the E unit being a little sticky. Hopefully I don't eat those words, but we'll go clean her up and see if it improves anything. Well, that was honestly one of the best, most promising starts I've had in a while. Usually these things put up a little bit of a fight. Famous last words. So we'll go ahead and get the body off of this thing and see what we're dealing with. How loose that is. I don't know. This might just be MPC quality control. I thought this was more marked up. There's a mark on it, I think, but I don't know. Make sure I don't scratch up the cab. There we go. He looks pretty clean from the looks of it. Maybe I can just give this a good oiling. We'll still take her apart and give her a fresh oiling and whatnot. Good thing I brought up my Allen keys the other day. That's not going to cut it. I need something with some more torque. Give me. Give me. Give me. Thank you. All right. Not too bad. Definitely had some run time. And if I remember correctly, you should just be able to lift the armature up and out. Some dried up grease from the looks of it. Oh, well, it's not that bad. Not fresh. Not the worst. Still malleable. That'd be the word, right? So I forgot to grab my, where is it? There. I didn't grab my pencil, which is still grimy from the marks. This is going to be an easy one. Get this thing cleaned up with a little IPA. Very nice. Carefully clean this out. Now I'm going to turn off the camera for a second, and I'm going to try to clean up as much of that grease in there as I can. Just simple stuff. And I'll turn this back on and we'll see about cleaning up the E unit. Alright. So I used my skewer stick and I cleaned up the gears as best as I could. Not going crazy on this one. I honestly think this is just a case where it just needs ran. I'm getting the feeling it just sat around and it's sticky, and I'll put some oil, a little bit of oil on the moving bits here. But I think that's kind of where I'm at with this one. I'm gonna bend these just a little bit more. These handrails, they're a little bit more than 90-degree, but I honestly don't think there's much more I can do for it. There's just nothing that needs cleaned or wrong with it, or looks wrong with it. I think it's just sitting. Like, the brushes aren't even like that filthy. I think I actually got lucky with this one, which is weird because normally they sit around for 30, 40, 50 years without a drop of oil till I get them. Not that I'm complaining, because it's going to be a short, boring video. So, grab some grease and fresh grease and throw it on the gear. Get someone knows. And let's see. Throw a tiny bit of oil on this. I did find like some carpet fibers in the grease, but compared to what these things normally look like when I get them, this is nothing. This is practically brand new. All right. Pretty sure that's where it needs to go. And with these, a little bit more of a pain. Can usually just crap. Oh, no way. Oh, it popped back up. Ah, there it goes. That never works on the first try. Yep, everything's lined up. Wonder if that's something a little bit of IPA can take care of. That solder looks fresh. I think that might be a repair. Everything lined up. No, you don't. I guess what I can do is probably hit this with the fiberglass pencil to make sure it's getting good connection. Alright, I guess it's onto the wheels. Don't know what that is, but it doesn't belong there. A little bit of carpet fiber. Get the big old pliers. A little far. There we go, looks fine. I think this one's done. Let me put the body on it and we'll get a little test run here. See, that goes that way, doesn't it? Can't see. Give me a second. Well, that's actually about as far as that wants to go. Hopefully it doesn't burn the thing. I'm sure it goes back farther. And somebody put some duct tape in there at some point in time. Probably some light bleed. Alright. Let's see if I can do this without scratching this very nice shell. That screw doesn't, I must have been up front because I didn't want to go any further. I'll off camera, I'll try to see if I can run it down a bit more without damaging it. This one went all the way. All right, I'm gonna hit the screw a little bit more, and I'll meet you down at the track. Yep, there we go. The screws just needed me to put a little bit more pressure on them. I forgot to mention that after I won the locomotive, I bought what I believe to be the matching caboose. So, it's a little dirty. So, we'll cycle this thing a few times. And well, it's consistent. I wonder if there's one of the little metal tabs on the E unit might be damaged, but it functions and it works, so I'm going to put a train behind this thing and run around for a minute. So at a future date I might dig back into it and see if I can fix that, but for now it's not that big of a deal for me. It's just probably a bent tab in the E unit or something. But it does run really good. Seller probably should have messed with it a little bit more, and he would have seen it does go in reverse, and probably could have made a couple more bucks off of it, but then I would have had to spend a couple more bucks for it, so I guess I'm glad he didn't. So, well, I guess I'll get back to you sometime next year when I get something else to play with.